Hello, Audio Marks coming to you from the Sage and Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Joe, and Jared. The undisputed era of podcasting for casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Break open that champagne glass and enjoy a little bit of the bubbly.
Welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jimmy.
And I'm your other host, Joe. Ecstatic to be here.
And I am your reigning, defending Marks for Life Predictions champion, the lone champion, J-Rod.
That's going to change.
CJ's not here. He's on vacation, the lucky bastard.
Which you'll notice a lot more, calm vibes right now.
Calm vibes and echoes.
Lots of echoes.
Love the echoes.
It's very empty.
Technical difficulties.
I'm about to hit Jared.
That I don't know how to fix, so we're going to have to just roll with it. Hopefully when I'm editing it, I can fix it, but we'll see how it turns out.
Nah, keep it. It's added fun.
Or we're the only ones hearing the echo, and when people listen to this, they're going to think we're morons.
You know what? That's probably true, but you know what? We're talking about
What are these
so they're probably
idiots?
already thinking that we're morons anyway.
What are these idiots thinking? There's no echo, these morons.
All right, so a lot of shit happened this week. A lot of shit happened literally after we went off air last week. And, fuck, all right, we have stuff to talk about now.
That's usually how these things work, yes.
Not always. We've drudged through some shit. I think there was one episode during, the mid-fall months where I had to go on a 25-minute tangent about WWE 2K20 because we just had nothing else.
Wow, it must have been a slow day.
Was it a slow day? Yeah, I think it was a slow day. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. But it probably was. Anyway, where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start with all the Impact shit that happened, or do you want to start with all the AEW shit that happened?
I mean, considering we never talk about Impact, I feel like maybe we should lead off with them.
What happened? A great champion won?
They put up a fantastic segment on YouTube that didn't get them banned from Twitch.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
At least Rob Van Dam's enjoying his career. I can say that.
Come on, Jimmy, you're leading this brigade. Break it down.
I did write it down.
This three-wheel minivan.
I wrote down 6 things we could talk about, and I feel like the first thing that we should talk about, we're probably going to save at the end, because that's a little bit more morbid. So let's just talk about the Impact shit. You want to talk about Rob Van Dam first, or do you want to talk about Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Let's talk about Rob Van Dam first, because this was just fun.
Okay, so Rob Van Dam created a segment for their, what was it, for Twitch, or was it specifically for
Well, no, it was on Impact Wrestling. It just pissed off the Twitch people.
It pissed off Twitch people, and it got them banned? Like, was it a permanent ban?
I don't know if it's a permanent ban, but they're at least banned from Twitch for a while.
And essentially, the segment was just Rob Van Dam living out his fantasies of being in a porno.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what it was.
It basically with 2 women, a lot of whipped cream, and a lot of blurring.
A lot of blurring.
And I'm just like, I mean, can you even hint at what they're going to do? I feel like you're hitting the nail on the head at this point.
But yeah, and that kind of sucks because as far as I know, they were one of the first wrestling shows to be on Twitch, and now they're gone.
Well, let's be honest. Impact has always been willing to try anything and everything to get over.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like I said, Rob is going into full I don't give a fuck mode. And he's just doing whatever the hell he wants. They're paying him a lot of money. And he's just like, I'm going to be an asshole. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. So, I mean, get props to him for that. He would be the first heel to suck Impact dry, right, Jimmy? After our heel of the decade, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's real heel there.
I mean, was he supposed to... I kind of want to also talk about it in a serious way. Was he supposed to be a heel in that segment?
Well, he kept saying, don't hate me because you don't have my life.
Oh, okay.
So then that's a yes.
That's a heel, but he just comes off so likable, so it's hard to hate that.
You can't even tell by the crowd reaction because Impact only has 17 people in the stands every time.
They were probably all in just stoic shock of what they're looking at.
Don't worry, this is gonna cut soon, right? It's gonna cut soon, right?
Good stuff. Good stuff all around Impact. But, that was the only bad thing that they did this week.
I don't know if it's bad, but something certainly interesting happened.
Why? What happened? A great champion won. I'm missing the ball.
Well, I did look it up. Apparently, according to Twitch ban rule, the first ban's not permanent. So At least they have like a limit of like how far they can go, and I think that's what they were maybe trying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be putting too much into it, and it's just Rob Van Dam just wanting to enjoy his life.
That's pretty much what it is.
It's like, all right, guys, so you're finally unbanned from Twitch. What is Rob Van Dam doing with that loser? Oh my God! All right, that's it. You're done. You're banned. We're done. Stop it.
But it must be nice to be Rob Van Dam. I'm not gonna lie.
He probably has a lot of money by now, and I think he's like gotten his life together. I know he was like he was getting busted for weed all the time at WWE, but
he's probably still doing weed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's just finding states where it's legal.
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it legal in Michigan? That's where he's from.
I don't know. What am I, an encyclopedia? Encyclopedia?
Yeah.
Where am I? How am I going to know that from an encyclopedia?
Just get on it.
I could spell Michigan in an encyclopedia. They have a word encyclopedia in an encyclopedia?
We're already spiraling. Let's talk about So apparently it was a good idea. So apparently Tessa Blanchard defeated Sami Callihan to win the Impact World title.
Yay!
Good for her.
Yeah,
no controversy.
Until, like, literally right before the Rob Van Dam stuff, where she got being called out for fucking bully and racist.
Well, she was probably thanking Rob Van Dam because he took some of the spotlight away from her on Impact for a little while.
I don't think it was racist. I think it was just against women.
No,
wasn't it?
there was racism.
Oh, there's racism too, huh? Oh, all right. Well, I tried.
She said that they said that she was using racial slurs. I forget, there was like, 5 or 6 women that came forward with accusations.
Yeah, so basically Tessa Blanchard made a statement basically to be like, women need to protect each other and we need to, solidarity, and it was a nice,
it was like,
right, like it was good, and then that prompted about X amount of women to step forward and be like, you don't do any of those things. In fact, you are not the polar opposite of these things. You are consistently against women. You put all of us down, and it has
You're a racist.
It has become this just shitstorm, and she just beat Sami Callihan for the championship, which I believe was a taping. So I believe
it was a pay-per-view, wasn't it?
Was it? I'm pretty sure I read that she won before all this stuff came
It was
out.
something called Hard to Kill. I'm looking it up.
It wouldn't shock me if Impact pre-taped some of their pay-per-views.
Probably, yeah. Hold on.
So make sure you don't have anyone eating whipped cream with their significant other.
Because
on the show.
now there's a real problem. What I'm interested in is if Tessa didn't make that tweet, would all these women have come forward? That's what's so interesting. This huge scandal has now happened, and it's important for people to come forward when things like this happen. But it seems like they just did it, from what Tessa said. What if she didn't say anything? What if she just continued on? This would have kept going.
Do you know who Tessa Blanchard is? She was going to say something.
But seriously, if she didn't make this tweet, were anyone going to come forward?
Well, if she had made the tweet and not win the title, do you think that people would have still made the tweet? I think that would have been annoying.
You mean people?
I still
because she won because regardless of how we feel about Impact, I mean, the Impact Heavyweight Championship is, still I would say relatively important, especially if a woman won it.
If she made that tweet, if she made that statement and had nothing to do with the title, I think they would have come forward. I think it's more about the statement than it is about the title of why they came forward.
I think it's the fact that now she's being put on this really high pedestal that they made a statement. I think if she had still lost it and then kind of got relegated to the back of the line again and then made the statement, I'm not downplaying, calling it out is probably a good thing anyway, but
I'm just
I don't know how much
motives.
limelight that would have gotten if she hadn't won the title.
Maybe. I'm just curious of the motives of these women that have come forward.
Well,
because why not?
The women that came forward was Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
What is it? La Rosa. That was her. That was the woman who made the racist claims against Tessa. I think. I'm trying to find the article about it, and it's a little hard. Hold on.
Because why not come forward before? Or maybe this was just a straw that broke the camel's back. People trying to stay quiet, and then they know that she's about to win the title, and then you combine that with the fact that she makes this statement, and people are just like, that's it. I can't take it anymore. I don't know. But nevertheless, Impact now has a real problem on their hands. Two problems, but RVD is minor compared to this.
And a third problem, how the hell is Tessa Blanchard ever going to get back in the women's division? If she could beat Sami Callihan, I have a hard time believing that she can have any trouble with anyone not Awesome Kong size.
Well, you have to build people up. I mean, NXT even has something like that happening, where you had to build Ripley up and make her this hard badass to beat Baszler, and now most likely they're going to bring up Martinez and make her look like a big badass.
But if Rhea Ripley beat Adam Cole, then how are any of us supposed to believe that she could have any problem with anyone else in the women's division?
I agree with you, but I'm saying like you have to, that's the storyline. You have to build someone up. You have to build people up. But it's irrelevant now because now they can't build anyone up. They probably got to get the title over immediately.
Well, I haven't found the exact thing. She is being accused
Of using a
of
racial
spitting in the face
slur.
of Indie wrestler La Rosa Negra and calling her the N-word. That was back when she was in Japan, as far as I know. That was like the big thing after she got accused of bullying from Chelsea Green.
Right.
And there was another person who, I think it was that wrestler who everyone's talking about on NWA. What's her name? I forget her name.
Apparently we're not talking about it.
We're not talking about power, so it doesn't matter. But she made a statement about it. Over the last week, I've been accused of calling a fellow wrestler a racial slur. To read this allegation has been personally upsetting. To be clear, I absolutely did not use that word. That word is not in my vocabulary. The word is not in my heart. Racism is not in my heart. Yet I know many people have to deal with racism in a way I will never have to. Racism is an awful part of American history and is equally awful, my apologies, that it's still part of our society today. While I did not do what was claimed, I stand ready to use my platform to support and fight against racism however I can. Tessa Blanchard. That's what she posted on Twitter 2 days ago.
It was Allison Kay.
Allison Kay, thank you for the other part of the bullying.
She called her a racist and an undeniable scumbag. So, you know.
An undeniable scumbag. Oh,
There's
man.
no way we're gonna deny it.
Not a deniable scumbag. Undeniable.
So, but yeah,
I mean, Tessa said the right things, but it's
it's a PR statement.
It's pretty right. It's pretty empty at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was at Twitter. It was a screenshot, I think, that she probably typed out on like Word or something like that, and then posted the picture on Twitter. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Impact was finally getting back on its feet. They had like an interesting storyline going forward. Like this whole Tessa winning the championship was back during Slammiversary, and that's always in the summer.
Yeah.
So to come of it now, I don't know. I feel like the timing is just strange as well. I'm not saying like she didn't. Like knowing her, she probably did bully people. Like I don't know. She seems like the tough girl to use her father's name just to get her weight through a company. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's also timing is kind of strange. I feel like this apology that she gave is not good enough either.
Well, like Joe said, it's just a PR like script. Like here, write this.
She might have gotten someone else, just changed a few words.
Yeah. No, it's pretty. I mean, it's most likely true. I mean, all these people show up, but the only thing I'm questioning is, like you said, Jimmy, it's all coming out now of all the times.
Yeah,
it's a little
weird.
It is definitely weird. I'm curious of the motives of all these people that have come out now. It's just
She was one of the main focuses of Impact for like almost all of 2019.
Yeah, exactly.
so. Why is this not?
Why is it coming out now? Like, I guess because like as soon as they reach the highest echelon, like you kind of just want to rip them down. But like,
But then that's the wrong motive.
that's the wrong motive to do it. Like,
Right.
If she did, and for all intents and purposes, like she allegedly she might have. I don't deny that she might have done it.
There's definitely some wrongdoing here, but I question just why this was brought up. Just Tessa makes this tweet about women need to support each other, and all these women are like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's the last straw.
Yeah, this is the last straw.
You can't support us, you fucking piece of
Yeah,
shit.
you cow, damn it.
Like, god damn it.
I just wonder if, because I feel like a lot of people have been saying, at least for like her fellow co-workers, Tessa has become really, I guess, more arrogant since they put her in this spot.
Yeah,
so
that was
I
kind of the
wonder if
reason
it's
why
like,
WWE did pick her up. She had like an attitude problem, apparently.
So if she's really just hammering home and being a dick to everyone and trying to say like, hey, I'm the flag bearer, you all need to follow me. And if she just kept doing that, and eventually like, all right,
It's
you're not
just
the
the
great
straw that
person.
broke the camel's back. But what I'm thinking is, if that's the situation, and it's just like she's just this pain in the ass, it's a straw that broke the camel's back, and they finally come forward, then this bullying strikes me as minor. Because if let's say that there was real racial slurs said and legitimate
allegedly, let's say that she did.
Right. If that did happen, that person comes forward pretty quick. You know,
and to be fair, the actual person who was targeted, La Rosa, did come out and actually said something. I think taking back on the bullying tweets.
Right, but it's the because what I'm saying is, if we're saying to ourselves, you know, okay, this was a straw that broke the camel's back. She's been a pain in the ass for so long. All these women are like, that's it, that tears it. We gotta come forward.
Do it before like Impact decides to put a belt, because not only are you, I don't want to say ruined, but you're kind of like blackballing her wrestling career. You're also blackballing the company.
But it also makes me question just how bad it was, because you're waiting this long. And then this tweet comes out that she said, and now she's on the top of the card. And they're like, all right, now. It makes it seem like it's more pre-calculated that these things are happening. And it makes me think to myself that if this bullying was that bad, you wouldn't give a crap about the title. You know what I mean? You wouldn't care.
Yeah, especially nowadays with like, I mean, not to get too political about it, but like with Me Too and everything, like
yeah,
and like
but,
you know the whole
right.
Be a Star campaign that WWE has, like they're like legit, like there is
we're
bullying, there is a legit one, and like we're kind of getting into a society where like we got to tackle this thing down immediately. So
we're in a world now where, and you know, I hate to bring up this tragedy, but Larry Nassar with Michigan State with the gymnasts, which is obviously a much larger scale, but this started this movement of we're in a world now where we will always lean to the side of the victim. And, you know, we're getting, to I guess, a more political standpoint here, but point being is we're always going to lean that way after all of these tragedies have occurred. So if we're doing that, and we're always going to be sympathetic towards people, and we're always, and because of that, there should be no pause anymore. If you want to come forward, everyone is going to be sympathetic toward you. They may not, like no one will, but like it's not just going to be like, oh yeah, they're totally right.
Again, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
But, like the differences between what's going on with like Tessa and like with Larry Nassar, there's always a degree of power.
Sure.
And Larry Nassar had power, which is why those women were afraid to step forward.
Right.
In this scenario, Chelsea Green, Alicia Kay, and La Rosa Negra, I think, didn't feel that pressure and power coming from Tessa. Like, I feel it's just strange to me. Like,
right, exactly. So
like, there's a level of power that I think is missing from this particular situation. That if they did want to call out Tessa, like,
right,
initially, like as soon as like Chelsea Green got like signed to the NXT contract,
yeah,
or like,
that's what I'm wondering, if her leaving Impact, now she felt like, okay, now I can speak up because there's no worry of, having to deal with the powers that be, and just now that I'm on the outside looking in, there's no like worry about it.
But it's still, in this
feel,
day and age where we are in society, and how forgiving and sympathetic we are to these type of things now, I just don't, and there, like you said, there's such a lack of a power element here.
There's a lack of a power element.
I don't see why there was so much pause, and it's just very curious.
Yeah, so
I bet
it's the timing thing that bothers me about this, but like I
bet Tessa did things.
Tessa definitely did. At least the bullying things.
There is no way that this is all false. She definitely did things, but I question the severity based on, and I also question the motives of these women that come forward. At the very least, it's now a company that looked to be building themselves up, and in the matter of the week, they have now hit rock bottom again.
Yeah,
and we need to see how this.
The cusp of the whole Rob Van Dam thing, and this,
and now we need to see how this company moves forward.
And because, I guess to move on to another subject, I mean, we're going to talk about Brian Cage because he didn't sign with Impact again. The rumor is now that he officially signed with AEW. So they lost another heavyweight contender. Yeah, and those I would say would be like the next top people to face off. And now that they kind of lost them, like Impact's in trouble again.
Well, let me say this: Impact, if you actually had a way to lock up homegrown stars, you wouldn't need to give Tessa Blanchard the world title. You couldn't pay AJ Styles, you couldn't pay Bobby Roode, because Christopher Daniels, Kazarian. Now you have Killer Cross and Brian Cage.
They're still under contract. They still have a deal with Anthem, right? They're still owned by Anthem.
Yeah.
So I don't get why Anthem, like, you clearly see the popularity of wrestling now, along with, how WWE is doing, along with how, AEW is starting to make a name for himself. Like, Anthem Media, as far as I know, is like a crazy rich media conglomerate.
Yeah.
They can clearly open up some money problems and start paying off a little bit more of these wrestlers to get them money.
See, Impact, to use a sports analogy, they're like the Tampa Bay Rays of wrestling. Every time someone gets a little too expensive, boom, they're gone. Just you use them for as long as you can. They get too expensive, boom, you're out. Okay, next one.
I mean,
Keep running through
plus
it.
now they're on Access, and I think Mark Cuban has like some.
Good God.
Yeah, Mark Cuban has like I think ownership of. Hold on, I gotta look this up because I could be 100% wrong. But
Is he gonna follow Tony Khan and just buy out Impact Wrestling?
Imagine.
All right, the Stars are gonna be the Dallas Mavericks mascot. No, Mark, we can't do that.
Dirk Nowitzki's going to win the world title. What? No, we can't do that.
Hey, he did take a table bump from Sheamus like 10 years ago, so.
oh no, I'm partially wrong. He did own stakes in Access TV, but he sold it.
Well, thank God for that.
What
saw
the hell?
So he saw the writing on the wall when fucking AEW came out of nowhere and be like, no, I'm not gonna compete.
Yeah, he watched Sami Callihan bash, what was that? Who the hell was it that he bashed in the face with the bat and broke his face? Was it Davey Richards?
Yeah, probably did.
He saw that happen. He's like, what the hell is this company? They're coming to Access? I'm out of here.
Well, we'll see where Impact goes from here, I guess. Good luck. Godspeed.
Yeah, what's the next publicity stunt?
Yeah.
Blair Lynch
seriously.
2?
Oh, God.
I mean, I guess now that we can talk about AEW from this point on, I guess. Although to answer your question about the legality of weed, though, because I know that was something that was, but it's medically legal in Michigan. It is not oh no, wait, hold on. No, I'm wrong. It's legally medical and recreational.
Okay, so that's why RVD's so happy right now. He just goes up to Battle Creek, gets a supply, and that's it.
Well, it does all of his shit there, then waits like a little while to like let the system get out of him before he does any P tests for Impact, and then heads back. That's what he does.
And they wouldn't have to keep running out ECW stars every week.
Listen, they had an audience on Twitch. Now
They got a winning
I'm just
formula?
saying There's something there. There's something.
How many ECW reunions has Impact done? At least 3 or 4.
Something like
Let's
that.
see. What was the first one? Was what? Hardcore Justice right before.
Yeah, EV2.
Yeah,
that was like
EV2.
2011.
That was like 2011 versus Fortune or something like that.
Yeah.
I actually watched that. That was good, but man, yeah.
Guys, Sabu can't take any more bumps. He's got
It was right before it got really bad with Impact. Right before.
his scars
Right
make him
before
look like a
more.
roadmap. Just stop. He's like 60. Just stop making him take bumps. Even his uncle knew when to quit, and he was throwing fire in people's faces.
DDP doesn't know when to quit.
Oh God, DDP.
DDP.
Wasn't his last match before that like the Rumble where he was a surprise entrant?
Might be.
I think that was like 2013 or something like that.
DDP.
Is he still in shape? That DDP yoga's a lifesaver. I'm about to try it.
Oh, man.
Hey, if it got Jade cleaning, get me off the cheeseburgers.
All right. I guess we could talk about Brian Cage now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Brian Cage?
Works
So,
for me.
this whole Brian Cage thing was so fucking stupid. Am I the only one that thinks that? Like how how that kind of like led to him getting signed to AEW? Am I the only one that thinks that? Or am I...
I mean, with Impact, does anything surprise you at this point?
So the first like news announcement of this came from SoCal Uncensored's website, out of all places. They're like, yeah, Brian Cage signed with AEW. And then Melissa Santos came out and be like, no, my husband didn't sign out. And then it's like, well, who are you going to believe? You're going to believe the guys who actually helped run it, and one of the guys who's part of talent relations, or are you going to talk to the wife of the actual wrestler? And then it went like this whole back and forth thing.
Well, John Morrison signed with WWE 3 months before he actually did.
And it was just...
Right, and then denied it for a while.
And then denied it for a while, and then he just popped open in the Mrs. locker room. So, like, last night, because we're recording this on Saturday morning, he had his first match.
Yeah, with Big E. He looks good. He's still, he'll fit the style good enough.
But, yeah, this Brian Cage thing is just so fucking stupid. I don't know if, like, SoCal Uncensored, like, actually ruined it.
This is just what you do now, though, in wrestling, because you're trying to keep the surprises, but because of mainstream media, there's just no chance. So they're kind of steering into the skid.
So they're trying to get it above before like a TMZ or like any other actual like wrestling.
They
news
try
thing.
to they try to make it so there is conflicting stories, so you don't know what to believe. So then TMZ isn't breaking it and being like, no, they signed to look like being the first to break it. So SCU is going to be like, he signed, and then the wife's like, no, he's not. To be like, well, he won't, but we all know he will.
You're right. They wanted to do it before Meltzer got changed on it.
Right. that seems to be.
At the end of the day, it's like, no, fuck you, Meltzer. We're not going to give you the free.
Well, just like that
free story on
that
this.
fucking radio station in 2014 that ruined that Batista was going to be in the Royal Rumble. It's like, well, now we got to bring him back early because everyone knows.
Right.
And then he won the Royal Rumble to a standing ovation. So
Yeah, that's what happened.
I mean,
I also knew that he was going to win, and I won a bet on that. So I got like $120 from that Royal Rumble. So I'm pretty happy about that Royal Rumble.
we're talking to the wrong people. We have to win some money on this shit.
And yet you're not predictions champion.
Back then, I was good at it
You
because
got
I was surrounded
harness
by a whole bunch of people who only watch Attitude Era wrestling.
You got
and
to
they give a
harness
fuck.
that knowledge.
I
Jesus.
did. You know what it was? Is because like back then, like WWE was the only thing I was watching, so I was constantly like on top of that shit. Now, because of AEW and just the multitude of other media that's out there, because I finished Mandalorian, I'm catching up with all the anime
AEW
stuff.
just recently showed up, and you still picked Jake the Snake Roberts. WWE was the only thing going on.
Shut up.
And you picked Jake the Snake
Shut
Roberts.
up! Shut up! Shut
Six
up!
times.
Yeah, live and die by the Ruru.
Shut up!
Is he your most eliminations?
No, he's not.
Shit.
Don't worry, we'll talk about that next week when we talk about the Rumble. Shut up.
We all flipped the picks for this week, but
Yeah, I know. I wasn't thinking, so. But basically, all the formats are done for the week, so I have no work
Jared's
to
like
do
the
other
picks for
than
this week. I'm
making
like,
sure
but
this
there's-
episode gets edited and remind myself to always bring my iPad, the correct one, to do the fucking podcast.
I'm like, but
So-
the Rumble's in a week. I'm like, so why are we doing picks now? There's still another episode before the Rumble. But you know, CJ's in a different time zone, so he's gotta.
Well, he's in the Philippines, so like he's not gonna have that much access to internet.
That's his problem.
He's barely access to fucking, text messages. I text messaged him the other day about something we're keeping an eye on, and it finally dropped. And then he texted me like 3 hours later.
If he whoops our ass from the Philippines,
That's right, God.
in this,
I looked at his pics. There's no way. Sorry. I looked at his pics. There's no way. I'm sorry.
are they that bad?
No, they're not bad. It's just like
There's a few weird ones.
there's a
All right,
few
we'll
weird
talk
ones.
about it. This is the tease for next week.
Right.
There's a few weird ones. I'm not gonna lie about that.
So, like, does he get WWE Network in the Philippines? I mean, they talk about it being global. I'm sure you try and get it over there if you really wanted to watch the Rumble.
Well, I mean, he probably has his sign-in information. He could probably, if there's internet access, I'm pretty sure they can sign for it because that's what we did with Jamaica.
Yeah, so-
Because I had access to it and I streamed it.
I mean, they give us the 85 different international announce teams during every pay-per-view. It's time someone takes advantage of it.
Yeah, but there's no Filipino commentator.
Not yet.
Oh God! And now our Filipino announce team. Oh my God! It's
And now
getting worse.
it's Danish. Oh God.
All right. In other AEW news, they actually got a multi-year TV deal signed and a second show on TNT now.
Which CJ
Is
says
it dark?
It's just dark being put.
I haven't heard that.
I'm gonna look it up.
I've just heard they extended their contract for the first one to 2023, and then they have this new deal coming. But from what I heard, no one's confirmed if it's just dark or if it's another show or maybe
We're gonna jump on Mondays and kill Raw while it's bleeding.
I mean, could they post something on Raw to move that Monday crowd?
That's a really bad idea. You don't.
Well, no, they stick to the main product on Wednesday because clearly they're gonna have to fight on that. But like, put something else on TNT on Mondays.
That's a bad idea.
Well, I don't know.
It's gonna get smashed.
On
That's
TNT.
bad. Raw still garners
On,
over
Mon-
2
on
million.
Mondays, what sports things goes on? Because I know
Monday
Tuesday-
Night Football.
on TNT.
No, but it's still Monday Night Football.
It's still Monday. Well,
Monday
that's
Night
only
Fo-
during the fall. That's during the fall time though.
It's from August through January. So that's a big chunk. I mean, Raw is barely afloat when Monday Night Football comes on, and you want to throw AEW in there a year round, half the year, they're dead. That's a bad idea. If you want to add another night, you got to do it on Tuesday. You don't have a choice because Monday's Raw, Friday's SmackDown, Thursday's TNT basketball. They don't want to mess with. Wednesday they got the day. Tuesday's the only day they could do. You do your AEW dark, full, whatever you want to call it, on Tuesdays, and then you do the real show on Wednesdays. It's the only way to do it. There is no other way to do it.
Saturday.
Right, yeah. It's the only way. There's no other way.
Does WWE still own the trademark for Velocity? Because we can make this. We can make this a thing.
Dynamite, Velocity, Turbo. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out jargon words for fast. Rapid Dash.
AEW Nitro? Wait, what?
No, let's not do that.
Nitroglycerin? No?
Nitro.
They're in the Mall of America. You gotta be kidding me. We're not doing this again?
My God. So
I'm looking
see.
specifically at
But you know, the Elite has been making money hand over fist.
Well, the hope is that if they can have a second show, let's put some women on this goddamn TV now.
Or let's like spotlight beyond the 8 people we see on TV every week.
Hey, they're getting ratings. It's working. They're killing NXT.
But I said NXT was much higher quality episode this week.
To me,
So from this Fox Business article, which I have my own hesitations about, but for something like this, I don't think they would lie. But you never know. It's Fox Business. It says AEW and Time Warner confirmed a second show would debut, but it would provide few details about what form it would take. It's unclear if AEW content will appear on HBO Max, the streaming service that's coming up in debut in May. That's like the only thing that came.
yeah. So we really don't know.
So we honestly just
Something is in the works for a
something's
second
in the
show
works.
in some form.
And it's also possible that AEW could be on HBO Max. That's really it, as far as I know. Which that's not bad.
No, it's not bad, but excuse me, it's relatively minor to what we thought it might be, where they're literally putting another show on TNT.
What
So
if
we
it's
have
like
to see.
being the Elite type thing, where they're just like going through feuds and shit?
What, and it's specifically to HBO Max or just specifically on TNT?
Even if it's on TNT,
That's like
it's
a
just
reality or like a just like a show that's just about creating.
It's
Dynamite.
like a palette teaser for if you do it on a Tuesday and then Wednesday. It's kind of like I don't want to say preview show, but like something similar to being the Elite, where it kind of.
What if they had it? What if they had it on Tuesday? Well, I guess they kind of can't do it on Tuesdays because that'll interfere with Tuesday basketball on TNT.
It's the only I know, but Thursday.
That's like the only. Yeah, 'cause
Thursday's
there's
much bigger for basketball, so by comparison, because you can't do Monday, you can't do Wednesday, you can't do Friday, so by comparison, Tuesday's the choice. Tuesday's what you have to go with if they were to make a full-fledged second show.
What if they did Fridays? That would be like SmackDown.
You're not competing with Fox on SmackDown. You're not going to compete with the two big WWE
Much
shows.
before SmackDown.
You're not going to compete with the two WWE shows, regardless of what you think of the
Unless
product. There's still.
Would it be a wrestling show or would it be like a Being the Elite style show?
But well, okay. If you're first off, if you're putting something on Smack, if let's just say they wanted to compete on a Monday or a Friday, you're making it a real show because some Being the Elite minor thing is going to get stopped. No one's going to watch it because SmackDown's on. So if you were to compete, it has to be a real show. If you want to make it minor, you got to put it on a Tuesday. I think they should be putting it on a Tuesday regardless. Raw, and Raw is considered the worst product out there right now of all these big time, flagship shows, is still garnering low 2 millions. SmackDown in mid 2 millions. So you can't compete with this right now. AEW hasn't cracked the mill. You can't compete with that right now. You want to add a second show and get a credibility, you're not putting it on Monday or Friday. You got to put it on a Tuesday. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think the bigger deal is the fact that they've already gotten the extension through 2023. Just to show that this definitely has staying power. This is legitimate. It's real. It's happening. And regardless of whatever problems they have, which we highlighted last week, they're crushing NXT. And the biggest thing I could take away from it is it's just more mainstream. It's just more mainstream than NXT is right now. It appeals to the mainstream culture, be that as, guys like a Jericho or DDP, like these guys are more household names, more digestible content maybe. And NXT is maybe a little more for the hardcore base, and AEW appeals to a more broad spectrum.
Broad spectrum and also anti-WWE because there have been
And anti-WWE.
because once WCW kind of left, there have been people who exercised themselves from watching WWE programming because
Right.
WCW is gone.
Also could be. So
there could be that too.
Whatever the reasons may be, whatever NXT magic they had post Survivor Series seems to be gone right now. So and I don't even put that on NXT's product because it's been brilliant. If you like the type of product that NXT offers, which they offer, this certain type of content, then it's really, there's been nothing wrong with it. There's no holes in NXT right now. There really isn't. But it's the content. This is their product. NXT's product is NXT's product. It's what they bring to the table. They're hard-hitting, they're straight-laced, they're old school, and they're not really as mainstream as an AEW. They're not. But AEW seems to be just this more digestible type content. I don't want to say digestible, but you know what I mean. More mainstream, more broad spectrum, better for our type, better for our generation. Because isn't NXT always winning the older demographic? Isn't that the one that they're usually winning?
I believe.
The
18 to 34 market. The 18 to 34 market is
that's AEW. But I think the only demographic that NXT is winning is older people because
or younger kids as well. I think.
No, I think it's the older. I'm almost positive it's the older demographic. That's the one that NXT seems to be taking care of because it's an old school wrestling show. It's hard hitting. There's not a lot of promos. It's old school. It's, to quote Revival, no flips, just fists. Well, there is a lot of flips, but there's not a ton of showmanship. It is just very hard hitting. It is very straight laced, and I love it. I think it's amazing. But maybe if they want to compete more with AEW, and I have no idea if Triple H is saying to himself like, is this more about the ratings or it's more about the content? Don't know.
I don't think Triple H cared much up to this point about winning the ratings.
Right. That's right. Vince cares. I don't know if Triple H really cares because the content hasn't changed. They have not changed their formulas at all since debuting. They've been the same thing since they started the TV, since they started NXT, since they were just streaming the regular shows on WWE Network. NXT has not changed. So I'm curious as to if this continues where we're looking at AEW's in the mid-900s, NXT's in the 700s, is there a change going to be made? What change? You bring on maybe more main roster guys? You bring on a Cesaro, maybe bring on an Asuka, who have been, or Kevin Owens, as these people have been rumored?
You're not going to give NXT an A+ until they get Cesaro.
Fucking Cesaro, how he is not an NXT. That's its own animal. So it's a curious thing to see, but I believe that's the main reason. So, all right, Jimmy, what'd you find?
Just some demographic of just specifically the 18 to 49, not the 18 to 34. My apologies.
Okay.
Demographics. It looks like the viewership overall for Dynamite this past week at Bash to the Beach was 940,000.
Yeah, and I believe NXT was like 700
yeah,
or
it was like
710.
700. And the demographic score was a ratio of 0.38 for the 18 to 49 for AEW and 0.21 for NXT. So, I mean, AEW overall is getting that market because that's specific, because it's catering to that market, which for a long time WWE hasn't been doing.
Focus on anything 18 to 49 is like the demographic in prime time.
Right.
Television, so they focus more on that.
Right.
Which is, and it's pretty consistent with last week.
Yeah, but you also have to look at
a little bit more, and then
that demographic is the main force of the totals. So if they're winning the totals, they're winning that demographic. So really, it's not quite as telling unless you start comparing it to the other demographics. I'm curious to see what the 50 and over numbers are, because from what I remember, in recent memory, that's where NXT is doing better, at times beating AEW. So it's interesting to see. I guess Joe and I are very old school. I guess we're old school. So, and I guess I could believe it. I still listen to 70s music.
My name is Finley, and I love to fight.
Yeah, right, exactly. Get him in.
He's a producer somewhere back.
So we'll see what changes. We'll see if NXT starts changing its product, or we'll see if NXT just starts bringing new people in to get more hype. I mean, the only time NXT started winning was when they were bringing main roster stars, and it looked like after NXT won in Survivor Series, we were going to get a shift, but that just hasn't happened.
I mean, I did find technically one number, but it's honestly not that much bigger. This was back in October.
Oh, so that's when it first started.
Yeah, that's when it first started. This was like the first night. So AEW pulled a 1.4 million ratings, and the rating for the 18 to 49 was a 6.8, but for the 12 and 34 demographic, it was a 5 points. It was a 0.56.
Okay.
And for NXT, they had 0.89 million viewers.
Okay.
Which is 800,000. They had a 0.34 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic and a 0.23 in the 12 to 34. So, I mean, it's not telling me like the older ones like passed that one, but by all accounts, it looks like NXT is pulling over the older crowd. That's like hardcore WWE.
They're pulling
the hardcore WWE. So, that from just like those readings of those numbers and then looking at how it's gone since then, that's what I can just grapple with. Like, I wish I had a more up-to-date one, but it doesn't look like that.
But it has. I mean, we know, give or take, what it is. You know, AEW seems to be more mainstream and anti-WWE, so they're pulling in our type of demographic. So the only people that seem to be watching it, well, not the only people, but the driving force of people watching NXT is the older crowd or people big on WWE, all in. So we'll see what they do.
All right. Before we talk about like the sad news of that, I guess. Is there anything you want to talk about for WWE, AEW that happened this week? Normally, CJ would be giving us the AEW.
Well, I believe, is it Marty Scurll is staying with Ring of Honor? Is it?
Yeah, he stayed. Yeah, he re-signed and he became a shit ton of money and got the book. See, that's how you retain.
It was very interesting because he was basically like, adios, I'm heading out, and ROH just said, here's a fucking blank check, write any number you want, and
you get the book, and you get the book matches.
Yeah.
So they. Like, I can give
no one can be mad. Like AEW can't be like, how could you do this? Like,
yeah,
look what I was just
They didn't own Marty, but like, they're probably looking to be like, damn, yeah, I would have taken that money.
Well, supposedly,
even main roster WWE money.
Well, supposedly, I don't know if you heard this. It wasn't even a rumor because it's basically all but confirmed. The Dark Order angle with the famous, here, take this, Goldust. Yeah, here, how does this air feel?
That was supposed to be Marty Scurll.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be the leader of the Dark Order. But number one, they basically killed the angle because, punches didn't work. And number two is because of this.
And number three, because everyone hates the Dark Order.
Well, yeah, that's its own animal.
Which sucks, because Evil Uno is so good. Like, out of all of them, Evil Uno is my favorite.
Make Sami Callihan the leader of the Dark Order. He totally has credibility left.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's Tessa Blanchard. Oh, my God.
Nope.
Oh, my God.
And back to, NXT just has all the ratings out. How did that happen?
Shit, was there anything else that... What did fucking...
DDP.
DIY reunited.
Well, right. If we're talking about NXT had a huge show. Keith Lee put a human through a hedge.
Yeah, that was fun.
And is now going to be, and is facing Strong next week for the North American Championship. DIY reunited and are going to be facing off against Mustache Mountain on Worlds Collide.
So 5 stars.
Which is going to be absolutely brilliant. The Time Splitters shockingly got upset by the Grizzled Young Veterans, where if you know a lot about NXT UK, they've been grooming the Grizzled Young Vets. But it'll be interesting to see where the Time Splitters go from there. Could Sabin be involved? Possibly. What else? Bianca Belair won the Battle Royal and will now be facing, it's most likely going to be Rhea Ripley, but the winner of Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, that they're facing is Worlds Collide. At NXT TakeOver Portland, Bianca Belair will be facing Rhea Ripley or Toni Storm if Storm pulls off the upset. What else? Ciampa is still making his run at the title with Adam Cole. I think there was something else that I'm missing. Oh yeah, and the what the hell? What's Matt Riddle? The Broserweights? Yeah, the Broserweights won a brilliant match.
Against Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, unreal tag team match. I mean, those two guys, Andrews and Webster, I mean, they won me over. It was my first time watching them. I've seen the Grizzly Young Veterans. I have not seen this tag team. And as I'm watching, I'm like, man, they got to win. Like, they were unbelievably good. It was one of the best tag team matches they've had. We'll see. We will see. So the Dusty Rhodes Classic has been fantastic as far as introducing new tag team. Despite maybe, a thrown together tag team winning, it's already been fantastic at putting over new tag teams, especially from the UK. So we'll see. AEW as far as the big sticking point. I mean, we got to talk about DDP. I mean, this is insane, but people really like it. This guy is just.
I mean, can you really be blamed? Like DDP is. It's DDP. Like, can you really hate it?
I can't like it. I don't know.
All the ex-WCW crowd that watches that show is gonna love DDP.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. But I mean,
they
but
found
also like DDP, like as a
Something.
career, he started off wrestling pretty old himself. So,
But
like,
doesn't this strike you as a bit hypocritical? If this exact same thing happened on WWE's main roster, fans are going to be like, they're just recycling these veterans because they can't get anyone else over.
I actually disagree with that because Rob brought back Big Show and everyone fucking loved that. So
He's not quite DDP though.
no, but I would say on the scale of like, who would you rather see wrestle, DDP or Big Show? I mean,
Neither, both of them. Just die already. Like let's just move
die.
on.
Just fucking
all right, maybe
die.
not die.
Just die. That's what Jared wants. He wants
No.
you both fucking dead.
All
That's
right,
what he wants.
It also seems like Cain Velasquez is not official, but he's pretty close.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Cain Velasquez is going to be.
And we have
totally threw off everyone's picks.
Glenn Jacobs Kane is also going to be in the Rumble.
Hey, Cain Velasquez didn't throw off my picks. I've been telling you he's eliminating Brock from day one.
Fucking,
No one wanted to believe me.
fucking didn't see that one coming
Who's
at all.
entry number 5? It's Kane. Who's number 6? It's Kane.
What?
I'm not gonna lie, if that happens, I will die laughing. I think that'd be so goddamn funny.
That R-Truth segment happened on Raw.
Oh, I love that one.
Brilliant.
I love that. I was
10
thinking,
out of 10.
I was actually gonna put that, if I brought my iPad, I was gonna put that on the bumps thing. So that was gonna be like a little, what is it? A little thing I'd play in the middle of the thing when we wanted to take a break from talking.
Oh my God. That's on me. Paul, you talk so much.
He's going to throw you out, Paul Heyman. What the hell's wrong with you? No.
No,
Nobody likes you.
I'm not in the Royal Rumble match. Brock Lesnar is in the Royal Rumble match. My bad. My
I am
bad.
officially undeclaring for the Royal Rumble match.
Brock couldn't keep it in. Brock was pissing himself.
Yeah, he was pissing himself. I fucking listen. If you can make wrestlers laugh during a segment, is when it's the
Especially
best.
Brock.
R-Truth has, I think, like 4 or 5 of these like my bad segments where he's like trying to like enter something and he's not even in the match or this.
Or he is in the match, but he forgets what kind of match
Yeah,
it is. Because
he's
this
like-
Royal Rumble spot
Yeah,
where
where
he
he's
grabbed the
climbing the
ladder. It was the best. Wait, where is it?
Was that at the Rumble?
That's the Rumble.
He brought in a ladder and tried to
But in the
climb
middle
it.
of the ring, Kane standing in the middle, watching climb ladder, just like,
What the fuck are you doing?
he runs up the ladder, he's like, oh, what?
What's the case? Am I champion?
He finally conquered his fear of ladders in the wrong match.
Brilliant. Brilliant
He
stuff.
had another one. I think he tried pinning someone too in the Rumble. I
We
forgot
need
what
to
it was.
have him enter the Money in the Bank match and then throw someone over the top rope. Like, yeah!
Yeah, but how about was it Money in the Bank where Kane's like, you're not even in the match? He's like, I'm not? You sure? Yeah.
No, it wasn't Kane. I forgot who it was, but I know what you're talking.
No, it was Kane
was-
that said that.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was. It was corporate Kane. I don't remember if it was Money in the Bank, but it was Kane that was basically like, you're not even in the match. And Ziggler and Roman are pissing themselves.
He's like, they told me.
I'm still waiting for R-Truth to enter himself in the Royal Rumble, but that time passed when fucking Carmella fucking turned on
Yeah,
him.
number 25 in the Women's Royal Rumble was R-Truth.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
I was waiting.
Yeah, we thought it was going to happen last year.
Like, I wanted to come out and have like Triple H or stuff. Someone come running out and go, no, this is the Women's Royal Rumble. He's like, what? Get back there, it's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Instead,
He
Nia
doesn't
Jax.
get out and be like, no, I want to win it. And then Nia Jax comes
Just
out and
actually murdered him. And he was pissed because, like, it was another botch, Botchamania from Nia Jax.
Wait a minute, she is a flawless wrestler in there.
She's not like most girls.
No,
She's
most
definitely
girls
going to be in
don't
the
break.
Royal Rumble.
Most
Yeah.
girls.
Like, I'm pretty excited for Nia Jax.
Should that be a prop bet? Who will Nia Jax injure in her return?
Hey, it's better than Brie Bella.
Oh.
Putting Liv Morgan into Night Land.
Oh, my God.
Oh, kicks. All right, stop. Oh,
All right,
oh, no.
all right, 1 knee. All right, stop. 2 knees. Oh, my God. 3 knees. She's dead. she's dead.
All right,
What-
now,
She got injured so badly that
What-
she wound up
What do we
having a
do?
relationship
Put up
with
the
Mark.
X?
That's how bad it was.
What do we do? Put up the X? You're pinning her. Why are you pinning her? She's not going to kick out.
Yeah, she kicked out. Oh my God.
And Ruby and Sarah just dragging her lifeless corpse to the back. Like, let's just
Hey,
get a
there's someone else
tag.
that could
Get a
be
tag.
Women's Royal Rumble, Ruby Riott. I forgot that she existed.
She's got like no knees right now.
No.
Still? Still?
I think it's
Fuck.
gonna be a little off her. Or was it her shoulders? It was Nia's knees, it was her shoulders.
Fuck.
Something like that.
What
She had
else?
some serious shit.
Velveteen Dream might miss WrestleMania.
That's
Yeah,
upsetting.
he's got a bad injury.
They say it's going to be a really long
He
time.
would have been an interesting pick for a Rumble.
It's spinal, I believe. So supposedly,
What did you do, UE?
Supposedly he had this problem for a while and he waited too long. And supposedly, and now it's come to that point where they're like, all right, I can't wait anymore. I got to fix whatever this is. That's all we know. Could, if they caught it early, it have been better? We really don't know. But he's going to be out for quite some time. He's going to miss certainly the Rumble, and he's definitely going to miss WrestleMania. Supposedly going to miss WrestleMania weekend as well. So hopefully he gets better, and maybe he can help NXT in the ratings. Who knows? But yeah, that's about all I got.
So we're gonna end it just
Hold on, I'm looking up an injury thing. Someone was trying to break in.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Fucking-
Yeah, that's right.
Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah, that's right. Should have just nailed her. Giving her the AA. So Rocky?
Might as well end it with bad news. So the beginning of the week, we had
So not bad news, Barrett.
yeah, no, oh god, I should have gotten that too. Fuck.
Have it for when CJ comes back. He'll be like, I've got some bad news. CJ's back.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, but at the beginning of the week, we got bad news that La Parka had passed away.
Oh yes.
He was 52 the last time I counted.
Yeah, it was due to ring injuries.
Due to ring injuries, yeah, which
He
is
he did a dive or something and overshot and hit like the point where the concrete floor and the barricade met. And that was, I think, the end of
another luchador dies essentially in the ring.
I mean, that's what these guys just keep doing. I mean, this is just their life, and this is what they want to do. Like, they want to say, like, I went out like this. Like, that's just how they want to go out. Most of them just don't stop. I mean, it's crazy. So many of these guys.
And La Parka was a cool luchador too. Like, I remember seeing a couple of like old WCW matches like online, and it would be with La Parka. And I don't know. There's just something about like that of the older like luchadors being like in prime time like WWE, WCW wrestling matches, and it just you don't see that. Like, you see fucking Lince Dorado on WWE TV, and you're like, ugh.
Right.
But La Parka, like, that one sucks. WCW legend and AAA legend and MLW legend.
Went out doing what he loved, I guess. If
respect.
That's one way to look at it.
And then in the middle of the week, we got really sad news. Rocky Johnson, man, the legend.
75.
75. He died. He died of natural causes, though. No.
Yeah.
He passed away this past, I think, Wednesday.
Very shocking. It's a little fun fact. I went to a card show this past weekend up in White Plains. And there's a bunch of people doing signings and whatnot. Me and my friend, we went on a Saturday, and there was baseball and football. Sunday, which we didn't go to, was a big wrestling thing. Jimmy Hart was there, Afen Sika, the Wild Samoans were there. Rocky was there.
Wow.
Doing that signing.
Wow.
And then
That's
passed
crazy.
away a few days later.
That's crazy. Wow.
Now, because I wasn't there, so I don't know how he looked, but they didn't cancel his signing. He was there.
I think it was one of those like sudden natural things, because sometimes it happens, and like you kind of have to respect. He lived like a pretty long life, not as long as like other people, but
It's
like,
short.
for a wrestler, like
I know, but at the same time, it's like it's short, and it was shocking, especially considering he did a signing a few days ago.
yeah.
I mean,
you know what the craziest thing I just learned about Rocky Johnson? He's Canadian. I never knew that.
I did not know he was Canadian.
No, legit. He's
Jody,
born.
you know he was Canadian?
We're hearing something like that.
That's interesting.
So that means The Rock is part Canadian.
Canadian, Samoan, he's got the
Canadian, Samoan, black, like just all of that, all mixed them together, man.
So now he's gonna be great at ice. Is he gonna be doing an ice skating movie next? Be good at
Well, I mean, he did Tooth
curling movie.
Well, he did do Tooth Fairy, and he was a hockey player in that, so
It all makes sense now.
That
Yeah.
was different. That was first form Dwayne, though. This is final form Dwayne.
Final form, Dwayne.
yes, he's gonna be in Goons too. That's what it's gonna be.
Oh,
I would love to see another Goons one.
how about the game plan? Can we get the game plan too?
game plan too? Ugh.
Yeah. All right, go tackle that quarterback. Are you serious? You see him?
Good God!
Joe Kingman laid off the cheeseburgers, I guess.
No, but my heart goes out to The Rock and his family and loved ones. Very shocking.
Yeah, that's
guy was a legend in the business.
Yeah, one half of the first black tag team champions in WWE history with Tony Atlas.
Yeah, and a multiple-time NWA heavyweight champion too.
Yeah.
So
And he was put in the Hall of Fame in 2008
yeah,
because they put him and High Chief in together.
yeah. So it sucks. Like these are the first deaths, and this happened within the first 2 weeks of 2020.
Yeah, we're not starting out on a good note here.
You know, people are getting banned. People are getting
Tessa Blanchard, RVD, Rocky, and La Parka. Boy, we're
Boy,
rolling.
those are some not good.
We're stumbling out the gate here.
Oh boy, 2020, man. All right, but I guess the way that I'm going to edit this is that I'm going to put the 10-bell salute at the end and then go right into the end. So rest in peace, La Parka and Rocky Johnson, and see you guys next week.
Yep, next week we'll predict the Royal Rumble.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Hosted by CJ, Jimmy, Joe, and Jared. Produced and edited by Jimmy. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audioboom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Radio Public, Radio.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. And now, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life Podcast, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram, Tumblr, Reddit, and Facebook at Marks for Life Podcast. Email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any questions, comments, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.